Welcome to Driven, the Unscripted Success podcast, with your hosts, Mike Manino and Nariman Hamden, bringing you insights and stories on achieving personal, professional, and financial success.
Hey guys, I'm Nariman Hamden, and this is Driven, Unscripted Success podcast. I've got a great guest on today. We have Joel. You got to help me pronounce your last name, Joel.
Bohemier.
Bohemier. And Joel is originally from Canada, and he is now living in Naples for about, 15 plus years?
Correct, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So Joel is going to share a little bit about what he does and how he got his company started in Naples and how he helps the community with his healthcare services. Hey,
Yeah.
Joel.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on.
Right on. Pleasure. So I'm a chiropractor. I started practicing 25 years ago in Canada. My father was a chiropractor. I took over his business. And actually, we have 46 chiropractors in our family, so quite a few. But after I hit all my goals in Canada, the next step for me was to actually move to Naples because I had been training chiropractors across North America. And we had started to open franchises. So we decided to have the National Training Center here in Naples, Florida. So I've trained several hundred chiropractors to go open successful franchises over the years. And that's kind of why I moved down here. I kind of retired from that maybe like right before the pandemic. And so now I have 3 offices locally. I also have a website called greenmedinfo.com where we house and collate all of the research from the National Library of Medicine that supports natural healing. And we send out, a daily email, a weekly email, and hundreds of millions of emails a year supporting natural health care with my the founder and my partner, Sayer G. And then we've also started Stand for Health Freedom, which is a grassroots organization which has had now over 10 million actions to protect health freedom. Actually started before the pandemic because we were getting censored and all that kind of stuff. Natural health care got basically wiped off of Google in 2018.
Oh, wow.
As a build up to the pandemic, the pandemic. And so we saw what was happening. That was just an accident, Freudian slip. Literally, that wasn't on purpose. But we saw what was happening to us because we're out there in healthcare. And so we're like, if this is happening to us, it's going to happen to everybody else shortly. And so we started this grassroots movement called Stand for Health Freedom. And, we've sent a couple 100,000 emails to the senators through this grassroots movement to, get Bobby Kennedy, RFK Jr. Elected as Secretary of HHS. And we've been helping him tremendously. And actually it's happening as we're recording this. The vote is happening right now. So we're looking forward to it.
That's fantastic. Well done. So I'm a big supporter of every single thing that you're doing here. When I came down here from Michigan in 2021, I've always been into holistic medicine and chiropractic here. So coming down here, it wasn't easy finding a holistic doctor that can do both chiropractic and that. And thankfully, I was able to find one. And he's, pretty much the same exact views that you have and that I have. So it's refreshing that there's another one around. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You have 3
I think every family needs a good chiropractor for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. I'm sure, obviously there's a lot of competition in the healthcare business, more so in chiropractic. Like, how do you set yourself apart from other chiropractors, and what do you find that comes easy with those challenges or difficult with those challenges of setting yourself apart?
We can go down so many, because I've helped open several hundred clinics, right? So I think what comes easy to one is different than what comes easy to the next person, right? So depending on the personality, depending on your life experience and things of that nature. So that's in my opinion, a highly nuanced question. But I would say, like, because you have some people who it's like going out and meeting people, for example, is super scary, and it's terrifying to those people, and it takes a lot of energy and like planning and like all this crazy stuff that goes on in their heads to actually get out there and do it. Whereas the next person is like super outgoing, and that's the easiest thing in the world for them to do. Right. So,
Yeah,
however,
makes
you
sense.
have to be relatively well-rounded in order to be able to open a practice from scratch, open a business from scratch, and then actually build it and then maintain it or continue to grow it over time. So yeah, there are a lot of challenges. I mean, you're literally, the mentality of most people is like, hey, I'm gonna rent or buy the space. I'm gonna put my sign up, and every people are just gonna come. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Not
It's
the case.
not how it works. So yeah, ultimately it's about, developing relationships with your community in so many ways, with businesses and sports teams and families and church groups and, card groups, and like getting out there as much as possible. Um, so I would say it's getting uncomfortable in whatever way is uncomfortable for you that allows your business to grow and develop and succeed. And then on the part where, what differentiates you, I mean, I feel like attention to detail, like super
Mhm.
tight processes and procedures that are that the what I've noticed is the patients notice the difference when they come from other offices. They're like, oh, this is like, you guys are like, actually, I had a lady yesterday morning say, her husband is a graduate from an Ivy League school, and she literally she said, no, we've been to chiropractors before. I went to my husband and I said, no, this is Ivy League. We've been to community we've been to community colleges. This is Ivy League, but it's not because we're special or anything like that. I feel it's because we've paid attention to the details and taken care of the details. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah,
And that, I mean, and that's exactly what sets, like you were saying, what sets certain entrepreneurs and professionals apart from others is just the details, and then sticking with it, and the tediousness of being disciplined and having to follow up with it, and the changes, and just the consistency of moving. So
yeah,
well done.
yeah.
So,
It's
so you're
that.
the Ivy League of chiropractic here.
Well, no, I mean, he literally just told me this yesterday morning. I thought it was quite interesting because
I like.
I was talking to other chiropractors yesterday about this, and then literally she told me that right after. I was like, oh, okay, there it is. Thank you.
I like that. It suits you well with everything that you've accomplished. So
All right,
you should hold that title really high, and be
right,
happy about
right.
it. So let me ask you this. So if somebody, if anyone was listening, if someone was listening, to us, and they want to get better at being a chiropractor, that are starting out as a new chiropractor, what would you suggest they do, and what tips could you give them?
I mean, ultimately, there's so many different facets, right? So you have the business hand, you have the healing hand, you have the relationship. So all those things have to be taken care of, right? And so it depends. Like, first of all, you have to learn how to help people, right? Like, and
Absolutely.
school gives you this much, right? Your 8 years of university and college give you like this much learning, but you really need like tenfold and 10x that at least. So I would say, like, continue to improve, be a lifelong learner when it comes to improving your skill set, right? Number one. Number two, it's like, if you're starting out, you have to just get out there and talk to people. So we would actually put all our doctors through, we would have them go to spinal screening. So they'd go to health fairs, they'd go to farmers markets, they'd go to all of these places to actually talk to the public and see if they can actually, if they have a problem, if they want to get help, come into the office. Let's see if I can help you. Because you're literally dealing at the ground level with people, and you're hearing their concerns, you're hearing their fears, and then you figure out how to overcome those in order to move that person to come into the office and see if you could help them. And if you can help them, you know, everybody wins, right? So I feel like that's very important, is to like listen to people and figure out how to move them.
Right, because
That's in our profession. That's it. It's a little bit different than like, well, it's not different than online, because in our online business, it's like, what are the click rates? How many people are opening this? And it's because we're not connecting with the people if they're not opening it. We have super, super high
Mhm.
open rates compared to industry average. And it's because we write relevant stuff that people want to read, right? And as soon
Right.
as that starts to go down, it's like, why are we losing that relevancy? Like, why aren't they opening this kind of stuff? So you have to figure out like how to move people to whether it's a click or whether it's to come into the office for an exam or whether it's to actually like click through to send an email to their political person to say, no, we don't want these mandates or whatever the case is, right?
Right. Yeah. You got to be involved with your patients and clients and listen to them. And because when you're listening, they're telling you exactly what they want and
Correct.
what the issue is.
Correct.
So,
And it might not be the right solution. Like that, the whole key is like they might just want a certain thing, but that might not be the solution. So you have to figure out how to bridge that gap. That's
right,
the important part. Yeah.
right. Right. So let me ask you this. So obviously it sounds like you've done very well in starting your business. I mean, coming from a family of 46 chiropractors on its own. Good gosh. I mean, I can
Yeah.
only imagine the conversations around the dinner table there or
Tax deductible
family
family.
reunions.
Exactly. No, it's amazing. I've learned a ton. I've learned a ton from, my uncles and aunts who are chiropractors and cousins and stuff like that. It's fascinating. It's amazing though, because there's different levels of success from not to fully, even
Hmm.
just within our family. So, a lot of people just think, oh, it's because you come from that family. That's why you've done what you've done and stuff like that. But it really isn't. It actually might even be a little handicap because you think you know, but you've never done it before. So you actually don't know what you don't know. So that's very dangerous, right? Uh,
Yeah.
it's a different conversation.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, there's so many different techniques and different views, with s-
Totally. Totally.
this one, could be a know-it-all. This one, could be this way. So yeah,
Yeah.
I totally get it. So, I guess what I'm asking you is, with things going well, what's a lot of, how do I word this? I suppose, what are you looking towards the future and how you can create passive income to enhance or even replace your current active income?
Oh, well, okay. Well, I just came off of almost 2 years off of a sabbatical. So I've been back now maybe 8 months or something like that or less. Um, and so I believe that I've created that. Like I own other businesses, other practices, and yeah, it's not easy though, because ultimately what has to happen is in order to do that, either you have to invest in people and companies that you know, number one, and that you trust so that you can help them grow and develop if necessary. And you have to be surrounded with great people. Like one of the dangers that I've seen is that, the owner of the business wants to always be the main person.
Hmm.
Right? And so there's a bit of an ego thing involved. And so if somebody kind of challenges that with intellect or with execution or organization or whatever, that person maybe feels like fearful of being kind of overtaken as the leader or something like that. But that's what you want if you're looking if
Right.
somebody to succeed in your business, or in businesses that you own. That's what you're looking for. So surrounding yourself with brighter, smarter people is extremely, extremely important. But also, that person will most likely not walk into your business. You have to train and develop that person into, the best version of themselves that they can be. So I do firmly believe in like training and development because people are capable when given the chance, generally.
So, and just reinvesting into your existing business and helping nurture and develop your uh, employees that are helping you, more or
Absolutely.
less.
Absolutely. You have to empower them to be awesome at their job so that you don't have to worry about it and constantly think about it and constantly check on them and be, over their helicopter person or right over their
Right.
shoulder all the time.
Controlling every little
That is,
thing. And
that is not
yeah,
healthy. That is not
no,
healthy. Oh,
that
yeah.
can't be healthy at all. That's for sure. So as we're wrapping up the interview, what exciting plans or initiatives do you have in the works for the next, 6 to 12 months over the next year?
Well, I'm actually going to be helping in some capacity with Robert Kennedy Jr.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm really looking forward to that. Heading up committees that report directly to him, and really kind of helping to restructure. This is a broad statement, obviously, and I'm not doing it all, and I'm not claiming I'm doing it all, but helping to restructure healthcare. So in America, which I'm very much looking forward to, and we desperately need it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, you look at every single package. I mean, I was at Publix the other day and went to go grab a bag of bread that they make there.
Yeah.
And right there on there is,
Big mistake.
may find genetically modified ingredients in here.
Oh,
I'm
absolutely.
like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So it's insane because it's really not that complicated to just grow food the way it's supposed to be grown and don't add chemicals to it.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately, it's not the way Washington and those makers work.
Right.
It's industry driven right now, and we're hoping to change that to be like more patient focused or person focused and health focused for the individual. So that should
That's
be
awesome.
super exciting. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's a fun project to get on and help, make a difference with for sure. Because it's so needed here.
Well, I never thought, like, I've been obviously a health advocate my whole life with my father being a chiropractor and watching him go through everything he did. But I never thought that we would actually be in this position this early. I thought it was going to take way longer to get to this position. By this position, I mean the ability and the chance, even though it's a small window of opportunity, the chance to make serious changes in healthcare, and that is coming. And it is needed, and I am super pumped about that.
Yeah. It's going to be a great next 4 years and then some,
Exactly.
to say the least.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. Really enjoyed chatting with you. So if anyone wanted to get a hold of you or learn more about what you do and becoming a patient or becoming involved in some of the foundations that you're helping with, how do they get a hold of you?
I mean, you can email me, drjoelbohemier@hotmail.com. It's a long one. drjoelbohemier@hotmail.com. Then and then I can direct you or answer any questions or connect with you that way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And thanks for tuning in, guys. So check out Dr. Joel here, and maybe you guys can get involved in helping out reform the country's health of the food and all that good stuff, and get to meet him and Robert Kennedy Jr. And if you guys need any help with anything health related, chiropractic, fixing your mind and body and soul, reach out to Joel and his team. He's got plenty of locations around town. So get a hold of him.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Driven, the Unscripted Success Podcast. Want to share your story? Apply to be a guest at drivensuccesspodcast.com/guest.